Okay, I've got my generator parked back here where I keep it, and it's right next to a few water barrels. Now, it's very important to have water. What does everybody rush out to get when there's a hurricane is water. So don't be one of those people that rush out there and get water when everybody else is buying it. Get it beforehand. Now you can get these 55-gallon drums. This is what I started with, and then realized that the storage issue was a big issue, and that one drum will only last one person 2 weeks if they're only using 3 gallons of water a day. So if you want to have enough water for your family and you've got 4 people in there and you want to have enough water for a month, then you're going to need 8 water barrels. That can become a storage issue. I've tucked these underneath my shelves I built here, so I have room for storage in the garage, but I also have some water. So I've put out a couple other things here. 5-gallon bucket was a great thing to have to move the water from the 55-gallon drums into the house, or if you're using the 275-gallon water totes like I am, then it makes it very convenient to get 5 gallons and bring them to the house. You can use that for flushing toilets if you need to, if you have solid waste in the toilet, or you have it for use for drinking and cooking and cleaning. Something else that I also keep on hand, and this is always kept right here on top of my water barrels, is this Bung Remover. I got this from Emergency Essentials. I'll put a link down there in the description. There'll be several links in the description under this video, so please make sure you check those. This allows me to do a couple things. This here allows me to remove the lids off of these 5-gallon buckets very easily by popping it off. And this right here, these two are the Bung Remover for the bungs on top. Something else that is really handy to have to move water around is a little water container like this. Now, we bought this water container and it had water in it. This is, I believe, a 1 gallon, it's a 2.5 gallon water container. And this is a kind of a really easy way to move water around. So I would recommend, though, if you're going to use these, buy it, use the water, and then just keep the container, because these are not long-lasting containers, and so I would not recommend buying this, putting it in your shelf, and keeping it for storage. For matter of fact, look at that. It's got a hole right here, right there. Just found that hole. These are not very heavy-duty containers, so I'm throwing this one away because it's obviously got a hole in it. And if you don't have 5-gallon buckets, which you can get free from any bakery, deli type place, or you go down to Home Depot and buy them for $3, you can do that, or get something to move your water from their 55-gallon drums, or from whatever you're storing your water in, whether it be 275-gallon tote or whatever. Another thing is, don't run down to the store to buy water. You can just get water from your bathtub. If you know a hurricane's coming or there's a disaster and you have time, I would really recommend getting a water bob. Now, this is something we bought for all of our kids for Christmas last year. And what you do is it's a great big plastic, basically it's a great big plastic water container that goes into your bathtub. But what's great is that it's sealed, and so once you fill the water up in the water bob, you don't have to worry about the water going bad. If you've got a great big swimming pool and you've lost power, and within 3 days you're going to have algae growing in that swimming pool. In here you don't. It's got a little container in here where it hooks right up to the faucet. You can fill up to 100 gallons in here. You seal it, and then it's got a built-in pump, so you can pump the water out, put it in a 5-gallon bucket, or put it in something like this so you can move the water around. So I'll put a link down below where you can get a water bob. I think it's 12, 15, 20 bucks, something like that. Great to have. Nice to have 100 gallons of water when you need it. Something else you might want to consider is having a small ice chest cooler around. That way, if you've got medical supplies or food that you want to be able to store, you may be able to get some ice. It's a lot smaller. Don't get a real big one. Get a small one, because it's going to take more ice to keep things cold. Get a small one. Put your medical supplies in there with some ice, and that'll be able to help you out. If you can, get some 1-gallon milk cartons and fill them up with water and put them in your freezer, because a solid block of ice is going to last a lot longer than crushed ice. And you don't have to go out and run out to the store and fight the lines in a disaster to get block ice either. you may be in a situation where after a few days your water runs out, especially if you're only storing water in 55-gallon drums. And so you may be getting water from a swimming pool or from the ditch or from the river or lake, and you're going to need to be able to purify that water. Well, if you're going to do that, I would recommend you put it in a 5-gallon bucket, let the water settle, and then most of the stuff is going to go down below, or run it through some kind of a screen, maybe cheesecloth when you pour it into the bucket, or use a ceramic filter. I'll have a link down below to a really good ceramic filter that you can use to filter up to 3,000 gallons of water. But once you filter that water, you're going to need to purify it so you don't get sick. I can also use this with my rainwater retention system. If I don't feel that the water coming out of that is safe, then I can purify it using one of two methods, and that's both of it includes bleach. So here I have a bottle of Clorox, that's liquid bleach, and here I have a bottle, 5 pounds of Shock and Swim. I bought this Shock and Swim at the store for I think $13, and for $13 I have 5 pounds. 1 gallon of stock. Let's see, 1 pound of Pool Shock will clean 128,000 gallons of drinking water. 128,000 gallons of drinking water times 5 is how much I can purify with this. Now the great thing about having Pool Shock is that it's dry, it doesn't go bad, it doesn't, whereas the Clorox will deteriorate over time, and I don't know how long these bottles last. The Pool Shock doesn't. So using the Pool Shock, and as you can see, I have instructions inside. I got this idea from Yankee Prepper. Great idea. Go watch his video on purifying water. And then I went to the website and wrote down the directions on how to purify the drinking water. So I will put that information below, how to use this Pool Shock to purify water and how much to use. So look in the description below. And I think it's like 3 tablespoons, or yeah, I'm not sure on the Clorox. I don't plan on using Clorox, so I haven't checked that. Maybe that's a bad idea of mine. So go find out how many. I'll look up and I'll annotate this video so you know how much Clorox to put into a gallon of water or 5 gallons of water. Make sure it's just regular bleach, not flavored or scented or anything like this. Regular bleach if you've got that. And you may just have that anyway since you're doing laundry. So have something to purify water in a disaster, either by Clorox or something else, but have something on hand already at your location, so you don't have to go out and buy it. And as I mentioned here, I keep these instructions that I made inside the box, and so if somebody needs, because I'm not going to remember these instructions, and I need to take some out and put it with water, mix it up, and then add it to the water, and it tells them exactly what proportions to do that in. So I would recommend that you print out the instructions and put that in the box. And your box may not look exactly like this, but it's this one is readily available at any appliance store, Walmart, probably Target, Home Depot, Lowe's, any of those stores.